Relationship Show, another episode. And I'm going to ask you, for those, with the holiday season over, a lot of people got engaged at maybe their second marriage, third marriage, first marriage, right? Or maybe you got a promise ring or whatever that your gift was a key to someone's house and you're moving in. So are you prepared to do that? I'm going to run down some expectations and look at what is needed for you to have a smooth transition and, try to avoid some bumpy roads going in, okay? Is it easy? Nope. So pay attention. Don't go anywhere. The Art of Relationship Show is starting right now. The mic or anything. Sorry about that, people on TikTok. Well, actually, everybody wasn't able to hear it. So, or maybe I was the only one that wasn't able to hear it. So, welcome, everybody. You can join in the live chat down below, people. And anything I can help you with, excuse me, let me know. And then I will do my best to answer your questions. Like I said, it's always a live Q&A format, regardless of the subject going in. So let me address, there we go, that got the chat going on. I'm your host, as always. Excuse me. Hey, good morning, just me. Woohoo! Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, as always, Greg Dudzinski. I'm a fully licensed professional counselor here in Metro Detroit. Go Lions! Woohoo! Yeah. Here in Michigan, and have been for now over 22 years doing this professionally. I'm a relationship sex specialist and also have a lot of grief, severe trauma experience working with kids, teens, adults as well. So I'm like, anything I can do to help you out, let me know. Go to my website, theartofrelationships.org. I do have self-help courses, a bunch of information about me, myself, best I can do to help you out. My passion has always been to try to help people heal their hearts, to, get away from their trauma, their broken hearts. Their heart and soul gets ripped out. Couples go through an affair, maybe a rough spot. I want to be able to help heal that and to be able to, get you more connected if possible. That's what I do, okay? Excuse me. So, how many people, when you look at moving in together or, getting married, you got engaged and thinking about married, everybody jumps in, oh, how many people are we going to have? How many people are we going to invite? Where's it going to be at? Where's the wedding? Where's the reception? All this aspect going on. And, hey, people, I appreciate everybody going on. Hey, Jazzy, thanks for tuning in. And also, everybody jumps in to all that, the color schemes, the bridesmaid dresses. If you're going to have a bigger wedding, you're going to check into the situation where, all those aspects, okay? So that's where I want people to be able to look at. Not only that, are you going to have live music, a DJ, no music? Are you having a destination wedding, which I have my own thoughts on as well about destination wedding, right? Elope, it's cheaper. But everybody talks about those type of elements first. They can't excited. Who's going to be the, maid of honor? Who's going to be the bridesmaids, the groomsmen? All those aspects, right? However, they don't ever discuss after the wedding, when you are married, when you are living together, and also those that get a key, hey, why don't you move in? A lot of people look at and they have assumptions, and I get it. They're, excited, happy, maybe not happy because, hey, my boyfriend sort of begged me to move in. The girlfriend sort of nagged me to move in with me, whatever those aspects, okay? Remember, throw your comments down below, people, and share the live stream. As many people as I can. I'd love to be able to help people out those situations. So, Oh, actually, it wasn't me. It was me with the speaker. The video I could hear, but TikTok, I'm sorry you couldn't. The speaker sort of got unplugged. So sorry about that. Now I want to look at, we can break down certain areas, and I do this with premarital counseling or people looking at moving in together, and they want to be on the same page. I do that. I do a lot of premarital counseling as well, and I actually have that as a class, self-help course, if you will, for cheap on my website. Like I said, theartofrelationships.org. But you're looking at when you go to move in together or, getting married, same thing, right? It's looking at, number one, finances, right? Nobody wants to talk about finances. I hate talking about finances myself, but you're looking at, who covers what bills are going to be paid, utilities, including, it could be lights, gas, it could be electric bill, definitely. What about if you go cable or, Netflix, streaming, whatever, those aspects, right? What are you going to use? One person is used to this, another person is used to that. Oh, this is better, this is better. See, you're already starting to argue over what streaming service you use, right? I want people to be prepared and to handle this, not argue about it. I'm all about people evolving and growing together where, moving in together, getting married. One person might be used to living this way. The other one's used to living another way. How do you make and evolve how you are together? Hey, Detroit Rays. Hey, what's going on? Doug, Susie. Appreciate everybody tuning in. The Truth Doctor. Hey, the Truth Doctor. I got to hear about that. So, on an offsite, people telling the truth or not, there are some true tale signs, physiological aspects, but do you know there is no research to substantiate if someone's telling the truth or not? Everybody talks about, the, truth or lie mechanisms, right? They want a polygraph test. I had a brain fart for a minute, and they're not all that accurate. That's why they're not submissible to court. So a lot of people look at, I can tell when someone's lying. There might be some true signs, and I could get, but that's not this episode. But there's actually no bona fide research aspect if someone is actually lying. If they're very, very smooth in lying, it's hard to tell. But anyways, going back into, that's one thing too. What happens if you find out you live together and your partner's been lying? You think, they've been having this job and you find out they don't. And you're like, what? We've been dating for a year, moved in together, we're getting married. And now you find out what is going on, okay? So it's very, very difficult to tell when you lie and how you're going to handle those difficulties and situations, okay? So that's where I want people to be able to look at what are your expectations. And the first one I talked about, finances, right? How are they going to be paid? Not only that, if you decide live together or get married and you decide to have kids together, right? Now you're looking at, is someone going to stay home? Not only that, let's face it, if one of you stay home, one of you got to pay all the bills. Let's face it. Unless you're a trust fund baby and you have a lot of money and you don't have to worry about it, right? I'm not one of them. So those type of situations. And a lot of people will look at, I'll go back to work right after, and then they change their mind when the baby is born. So those are situations you have to be prepared for. A lot of people know, my clients know I'm a realist, okay? I don't blow smoke up anyone's booty, not at all. There's a lot of people in this field that will blow smoke up your butt to make you feel good, but it doesn't prepare you for the real world. They don't want to tick you off. They want to keep you coming in and bill your insurance and all this stuff. Yeah, we've got to make a living, but that is, to me, it's unethical. It's about being real and preparing people for real life, real situations, and that definitely includes relationships, marriage, living together, and let's face it, also intimacy, sex type of situations, okay? So that's where I want people to be more prepared about. and to make it a lot easier to be able to talk about those situations, okay? And I know it's not always easy for everybody. So outside of finances, we already talked about some. We can talk about, is someone going to pay for the lawn if you live in a house or rent in a house, an apartment, don't have to worry about it. Who's going to cut the grass, that type of situation. Are you going to pay for it? If you have a pet, a dog, who picks up the dog crap, right? Whose ever dog it is, right? Those type of situations. And groceries, another expense, right? And especially now, it's not cheap, not at all. That's where I want people to be prepared when it comes into finances. And also, not only that, you can add in, car payments, right? Oh, they pay their own car payment. They pay their own car insurance. And those that live in Michigan know car insurance is outrageous. It sucks. We're one of the highest, if not the highest in the nation on how much our car insurance costs. So, those type of situations. And also, you could look at the toiletries, paper towels, toilet paper, cleaning supplies. All those aspects can come into the budget, can come under, the financial realm. Not only the financial realm, it is about, who pays for entertainment. If you go out to dinner, if you, go to a concert, go to a Lions game, woohoo, right? But the tickets are outrageous. So, who pays for those type of situations? And everybody, well, I'm a traditional, the man pays for everything. And I'm not about that either. But then, the man's like, I'm not like that. Those are things you have to talk about, the expectations about when you are married or living together. How are those going to be handled? And what are you going to do with those situations, okay? So that's where those discussions need to come in before you get married, before you live with one another, okay? What other aspects you come into, I run into about being prepared to be married and live together, right? Finances we talked about. What about the household chores? That's a common theme that a lot of people might argue about. You have one of you is OCD about cleaning, and the other one is maybe slobbish, okay? And everybody, women out there, oh, men are slobs. You know what? There's a lot of men that are OCD about cleaning, and the woman is a slob. It's an individual thing. It's not a gender situation. Excuse me. So, that's how, how are you going to keep your house clean? What's important to you? What's not important? Cleaning dishes, vacuuming, mopping, taking the trash out, cleaning the bathroom or bathrooms, those type of situations, okay? That's another thing you have to talk about the duties of the house. It's oil changes in cars. Actually, I got to get my oil changed now. It's overdue. But, what everybody assumes who's going to do what, but there's no discussions about it. You need to be able to talk about it. And that's why I said I want couples to be able to talk about anything and everything, no matter if it hurts your feelings, pisses you off, brings up insecurities, that you can talk about them and deal with them if troubles arise, right? And troubles, challenges will pop up. It's inevitable. I don't want them to, but I want you prepared to be able to look at how you can handle them better in a more, cohesive, more partnership way that you are able to understand and hear what each other has to say, what each other thinks on a certain issue, or what each other feels, okay? So that's where I want people to be able to look at and understand, what is going on when it comes to expectations about living together or getting married. Like I said, everybody's all excited, getting married, planning the wedding, all that, but they don't plan to live together. And some people, let's be honest, they've lived together for a couple years, then they get married, and, one is like, oh, we're married, no changes, right? And then the other part, oh, we're married now all this changes. And they're like, what? You need to be able to talk about it because, number one, that's fraudulent. I call it fraudulent. If you're thinking, oh, everything's going to change when we get married, and you're not cluing your partner in or even asking how things consider your partner, that's fraudulent, right? That's rude and it's disrespectful. So I'm all about people talking, being, open and honest and transparent with these expectations. Hey, Janie, what's going on? Peace. Appreciate you tuning in. So with everybody, joining in, remember, throw your questions down below, people. I want to answer them the best I can, okay? So, just got the #1 gifter badge. Oh, thank you. Woohoo! So that's where I want people to be able to understand about finances, household chores. Now, what about quality time together? You're living together, right? You're maybe not living together. You see each other a couple times a week. Now you're living together and you're all excited, whatever. Oh, we get to spend all this time together. And then you start doing it and you drive each other crazy, right? Oh my God, I need space. I'm used to being independent. I'm used to, oh my God, now those type of things you have to talk about when it comes into, what your own individual space looks like, your own independence in conjunction with the marriage or the relationship, okay? That's where I want people to understand, what does that even look like? What does quality time look like? Not only quality time, right? What is quality time together? Activities you do together. Maybe quality time is intimacy. Awesome. It should be, right? I'm all for it. However, what else is sometimes quality time is for one of you is playing a board game and the other one goes nuts playing board games, right? So you have to look at and define what quality time means for each one of you and for the relationship. Absolutely. Not only that, I want you to be able to talk about, what time means for quality time. How much is that, right? Some people, quality time together is an hour a week. Some it's 20 hours a week. Everybody is different. So talking about what quality time is, the activities or no activities you do together, but also the time you spent together. Maybe quality time is watching a movie or a TV series. Maybe quality time is jumping out of a airplane with the parachute, hopefully with the parachute, right? Or you piss each other off and you're like, oops, I accidentally pushed you out the window, right? No, we don't want that. So you look at those situations to explore what quality time looks like, and not only, all aspects, what activities there are, and, how much time is allocated a week. And it's very difficult for those, say you move in together or you get married and then one job changes and they work a different shift. Does that ever happen? Absolutely, it happens in the medical field. Definitely in the big three here in Detroit, right? The factory life or suppliers for the big three here that, they go from, they're used to being on days, everything's great, and then they get transferred to afternoons or midnights, and now the other one works days, and you have a hard time, you don't see each other that much. That is reality. Like I said, I don't want bad things to happen, but I want people to be prepared, not paranoid, not at all. There's a difference. But to look at, talk about if this happens, how do we handle it? What goes on? Do I look for another job, but, are you going to make the same amount of money, benefits? Those are real life situations, people. And I'm all about people chasing dreams and goals. I'm one of them, okay? But those are situations I want you to be able to talk about as well. Here is not only tied in with quality time together, you have to look at how do you spend your quality time together, okay? Are you ones that always need family, friends, doing stuff always with somebody else, but your partner wants just to spend time together, just you two? You need a mix if that works for you, okay? Some people are great, just the two of them together. They could care less about spending too much time with family, friends, where every one person whatever they do, it's got to be, oh, my sister's my best friend, so we have to always do something with her. My brother's my best friend, so I always have, you get me? And the other one gets sort of upset, frustrated, pissed off, let's be honest, because they're going to feel like it's never us two. I'm never a priority. I'm not that important. You'd rather do stuff with just your friends or relative, whatever. And it's always got to include them, but it's not just us two. So a lot of people, those are part of the expectations also about quality time. You know, do you have a nice mix that works for both of you when it comes to quality time? And not only that, it coincides with boundaries too with other people. So quality time and boundaries also go together when it comes into spending time with other people and just you two together. And especially, you know, if you decide to have kids down the road, you know, you're looking at, oh, we're going to do all this, and you have kids, and you're still trying to do all those things, good luck to you, because it's going to be impossible. So you have to set healthy boundaries. Hey, I don't want to do anything this weekend. I just want to chill. We have a new baby. The baby's a year old. We're tired. We're trying to catch up on sleep. And the other one is like, just go, go, go. I don't want to upset mom. I don't want to upset grandma, dad, whatever. My sister always wants to see, you get me? So these are things, expectations about boundaries with other people in your household. Some people just come over unannounced, and one of you is okay with that, and the other one's like, what? That's rude. That's disrespectful. What do you mean? It's my family. And the other one still views it as rude and disrespectful. So these are where you have to talk about, hey, you know what? Okay, this is rude and disrespectful to my partner. So, you know what? What are the rules? What are the boundaries that you both can agree on that you are able to understand and clarify? Hey, you know what? People are going to ask to come over, not just show up. They're going to call ahead of time and ask, hey, are you available? Whatever. But it's both of you together, because a lot of people will, you know, say, sister calls up, right, ladies? Sister calls up. Oh, you busy? No, not at all. Come on over. And then your husband, or maybe wife, girlfriend, if you're same sex, right? They're like, what? You didn't even ask me. Well, what's the big deal? It's my sister. And they're like, what? So these things have to be taken into consideration to understand the boundaries within your household now, within your relationship when it comes to other people. And what happens, the holiday season's just passed, right? And I talked about this on another episode, actually the week before Thanksgiving. It's, you know, the holiday times, right? How are you going to spend those? And you think everything's going to work out. Maybe you're already doing this before you move in together, before you got married. What does that look like? Now you're thinking, oh, we're married, we're living together, everything changes, right? And you have, say, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever. You have both families, right, are having the celebration on the same day, the exact same time, and they live, one lives 50 miles that way, the other one lives 50 miles the opposite direction. So it's a 100-mile track. You can't be at two places at once. And both of you might be battling and fighting, right? Well, you know, I'm used to doing this with my family every year. I'm used to doing this with my family every year. Okay, so do you go to each other's family's event without each other? That couldn't be doable, right? But a lot of people aren't going to want that. So now that could be an agreement. Or do you take turns? And it's going to tick your family off. I don't want it to, but we're used to this. And they'll throw the guilt trip, and they'll throw the, you know, guilt trip and manipulation and try to make you feel guilty. And that's where I want people to understand. I am Brittany. Hey, what's going on, Brittany? Heather, hey, what's happening? I appreciate everybody tuning in. So that's where I want you to understand what those expectations are. And remember, the expectations and the they can change over time. So you can be flexible, but you need to be able to talk to one another. And again, people, join in the chat, throw your questions out down below. and I'll do the best I can to answer them, okay? Just a disclosure, this does not replace actual, professional counseling, mental health services. This does not replace that, just a covenant. But I want to give you sound, insights and, professional insights to help you in your situation. So, those are a lot of things that hit up when people go to get married, they don't talk about. How do I know? Right behind me on a daily basis. You know what? We never talked about it. We didn't know. One person assumes and they never brought it up or even asked that person, okay? So that's where I want people to be able to look at and understand, expectations. I'm huge on them, and I've done, a bunch of different episodes over the years on how things look and what your expectations on, okay? So that's where I want people to work together and build, but that's where, let's face it, the selfishness comes in, and one person might be easily guilt-tripped and manipulated by, say, mom or grandma. Oh, my mom, I've always done this. And then their partner gets pissed and gets upset and gets hurt because they won't ever put their mom or grandma or whoever, dad, in their place, brother, sister. They won't ever say no to them because it's whatever. Then they're in my office because the one feels like they're not a priority. They're not important. Everything's according to that person's mom, family, whatever, and it's never about me first or taken into consideration. I can tell you, I deal with this on a daily basis, and that's where I want people to understand what it means to also, taking each other in appreciation, considering one another. What does it take to make each other feel a priority, to feel appreciated, to feel loved, to feel respected, and also feel desired, right? And, desired, everybody jumps to, the sexual, the intimacy base, but it's also emotionally feeling wanted, desired, and mentally as well, okay? So those are elements where I want people to understand and be able to discuss openly and honestly instead of assume, because a lot of people assume, hey, I'm looking for this, and that's how everybody is, right? No, they're not. They're different. But it's not a right or wrong. A lot of people battle. That ain't right. That's wrong. No, it could be different. But you have to look at what works for you two when you are married, when you are living together. Let's talk about intimacy, right? Everyone's saying, oh, we get married, we're going to freaking knock boots. Woohoo! Knock boots 5 times a day, 7 days a week, right? And the other one's like, what? And everybody assumes it's the man that always wants it more. No. That's not always true, people. So, what are your expectations when it comes into intimacy, when it comes into, sex? And I know TikTok's going to freaking maybe shut it down because I mentioned SCX. But I want people to be able to look at, those type of situations. Hey, Jeff, man, what's going on? Long time. I hope you and the wife are doing well down in Texas, man. I appreciate you popping on. Peace and love to you and the missus down there. Hopefully Dallas area is treating you well. I know you guys had snow down there. Oh, when was it? Last week. Because I think you or Wendy posted about making a snowman or something in Texas. And I'm like, what the heck? I thought only Michigan was cold. I appreciate you popping on, man. So when we look at those avenues, you have to be able to look at talking about intimacy. When you're married, what's it look like? If you have kids, that's going to change everything too. And people have an idea, and I want them to have a realistic aspect, right? Some people want intimacy every day. Some people, I only want it once every 2 weeks. Now you're looking at, is that going to be a compatibility issue and what your expectations are? Or how many people will say they're okay with one thing, but they're really not. They're lying. They have no intention of being even close to being on the same page. Again, like I said earlier, that's fraudulent, that's wrong, and that's deceitful. I want you to be open and honest. Not only that, what happens if there is, an illness that's going on, right? If somebody is going through, say people are going in their second, third marriage or living with each other, and they're in their early, mid, late 40s into their 50s, and the guy is thinking this, and the lady is going through menopause now, and the guy's like, ooh, new relationship, all excited, great, awesome. But then the lady is going through menopause, and the guy has no clue about it, right? Not educated about it, the biology aspects of it, the hormone aspects, the mood swings, the hot and cold flashes, right, ladies? Those type of things. And he's thinking one thing, but they're never talking about it. The lady, he's thinking one thing, she doesn't ever talk about it either. So they're assuming, but they're missing each other. Those things have to be discussed and talked about, people. So when you go to get married or live together, these are things I want you also to be able to look at. What other things are hard for you to bring up and talk about, and it's hard and difficult, but your partner wants to talk about it all the time, right? It could be SCX, intimacy. It could be not only, physical intimacy, one is affectionate and the other one is not. And your expectation, the other one's going to become more affectionate. Or I'm affectionate, I'm not affectionate. I am personally, but, the other one, I'm thinking I'm not affectionate, so they'll be okay with that. Good luck to you, because that's going to come up sooner or later. That the only thing that changes, I tell people, right, is the tolerance. When you are the essence of who you are and you're not getting that over time, that's going to wear, and then resentment's going to build. But it's not really anyone's fault, because you both are assuming totally two different things, unless one of you are lying that it's going to be okay. So that's where I want people to be able to look at, when it comes into living together and expectations, right? And also, talk about household chores, right? Doing laundry. One person throws everything in together, turns it on, and the other one's like, oh my God, what are you doing? The towels are separated. The whites are separated, right? One person washes everything on cold, like me, and the other one washes whites. I know you're supposed to, right, on warm, hot. The other one's, oh my God, it costs more money, running the hot water, the gas or electric to heat the water, right? So, these are things that come into play. And also talking about, what about meals, right? What are your expectations about dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever, right? One person's a vegetarian, the other one loves meat. Are those going to get along? They can. But again, are you able to talk about it and what those expectations are when it comes to each other and working together and being able to be partners? There we go. Hey, Danny. Hey, Connie. Hey, what's happening? I appreciate everybody joining in. So those are the elements where I want people to look at and, discuss before getting married. One person loves, the bed's got to be made every freaking morning. And the other one's like, what? No way. These are, you want the bed made every morning, go ahead and do it, And the other one's like, what do you mean? You need to do it too. I could care less about it. Now what do you do, right? What does working together, what does compromising mean together and being partners to understand each other and where you're at living together, okay? And talk about these aspects, right? And not only this, if for those that decide to have kids down the road, parenting. What type of parenting theory or parenting style do you have? Is one more authoritative, one's more authoritarian, and the other one's very passive, right? And they clash. But these are things, I was raised this way, it turned out fine. I was raised, you get me? So those are things that I want you to talk about and be able to research. One person doesn't want to research. I'm just going with what I know, right? But can you look up and learn together? Because what you know or you think you know might not work for both of you. You get me? So that's where I want people to understand and be able to talk about it openly, honestly, transparently, and not fight and argue about it. But these are issues that come up, I tell you, on a daily basis that lead to divorces, breakups, that lead to affairs. Again, not excusing or condoning, I never do, but I'm trying to prevent those situations. Those are crucial, okay? That's why I do this. I want to try to help people heal broken hearts and, maybe more importantly, be preventative so those broken hearts don't happen, okay? Some things are out of our control, we know that, but I want to stack the deck in your favor. But if you are planning on moving in together, planning on getting married, you need to talk about these expectations, okay? And any questions, go to my website. You can contact me from there, theartofrelationships.org, and follow me. Like me all over the place, social media. I'm trying to join a couple other social media outlets as well, where I have more freedom of my language when it comes to this as well, okay? So follow me all over at LoveGuruGreg. And again, I appreciate you for spending your time viewing, listening to me. The easiest way to check out I got probably over 600 episodes on YouTube. That's probably the easiest to check out past shows. And I do the show live every Wednesday at 12 noon Eastern Time, Detroit time, New York time. For those, and I asked a couple weeks ago, if you would like me or prefer me to go back to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, let me know. Direct message me. Just put 8 p.m., Greg, or 12. Leave it at noon. Whatever. Direct message me, private message me, wherever you're watching the show. Anything I can do, I'll bust my butt to help you out, okay? Again, I'm Greg Dudzinski, licensed professional counselor, relationship and sex specialist here in Detroit. And I appreciate you spending your time all over the place. You can follow me at LoveGuruGreg. Peace and love, everybody.